Okay, live with a good connection. This is always a good way to start. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening to those of you out there. I hope you are doing well. Today is Easter Sunday where I am. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. If you celebrate something else, happy that. It is Sunday morning where I am, and I think it is the 12th, maybe? April 12th. So if this is your first time joining me on the Wake and Stretch, it's a way of showing up for each other, a way of showing up for yourself, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and doing what you need to from day to day to stay sane and to keep your body and your mind healthy. So this morning I am actually donning my yoga pants as opposed to my pajama pants, which I had on yesterday. And we're gonna see what happens. I do this as an intuitive thing, so there's no plan. I'm just gonna jump on the mat and see what happens. You are welcome to join me, and I will give some light narration as I move through. Since I don't know where I'm going, I can't really describe in all that detail. Plus, I want to connect to my breath too, because this is my morning practice. So with that said, I'm going to jump up on the mat. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. I'm just going to give, you can't really see my head. All right, I'll do a little plie here. Stretch out my upper body a little bit. Get the shoulders moving. Get all the pops, the creaks, snap, crackles, and pops out. Roll through my feet a little bit. Got a symphony of cracks today. Let's see what else we can get. Ankles. Just want to kind of shake it out. Shaking it out, as silly as it may feel, it's actually pretty good for the body because it gets the fluid moving, it gets the cobwebs out, gets your energy going, and it's a little fun to be silly sometimes too, or feel silly, even if it doesn't actually look silly. All right, just a few more seconds of this, I think. I'm going to bring myself to some stillness. It's bothering me that I can't see my head. I don't know where to move my mat so you can actually see my head. All right, well, I guess that's going to have to do. All right, so I'm going to take an easy half sun salutation. Exhaling and moving forward. Oh, good morning back. Inhaling, lifting halfway. And then exhaling, folding again. And inhaling, coming all the way up to standing. Exhaling, hands to the heart. We're going to move through that again. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding. And inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to the heart. All right, that's it. I got to move the phone a little bit because it's a little ridiculous that you couldn't see my head. Hopefully this is better. Pardon me, I'm having technical difficulties. Okay. Is this better? Oh, so much better. I can actually see my head. All right. So where were we? Half sun salutation. And you're going to take it into a full sun salutation. So inhale, sweeping up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding, stepping back to plank. Taking a breath here in plank. And then exhaling, lowering down. Inhale to a baby cobra. Exhaling down. Actually, that cobra feels pretty good. I'm going to do it a few more times. Inhale, lifting up. And one more time. Inhaling up through tabletop. And exhaling, pressing back to child's pose for a few breaths. From here, I'm going to move into down dog briefly. Get a nice stretch through the backs of the legs. And I'm going to take my right leg up and back, three-legged dog with a twist. And inhaling, I'm going to step through to find low lunge. And I'm going to keep my torso down here just so that my hips can ease into the stretch. Not trying to go too deep too fast. That's a recipe for disaster for later. From here, I'm going to shift back to a gentle half monkey. I think I'm going to flow back and forth from the low lunge to the half monkey. I'm feeling a little creaky, if you will, in the hips. Even if it doesn't look like it, it doesn't matter what it looks like really, right? It's more of what it feels like. And yesterday I did no movements, so perhaps that's why I feel creaky today. This is the last time I'll come forward into low lunge with a nice full inhale. I'm going to exhale, find my way back to downward facing dog. Right leg feels nice and open. Left leg is going to get its love now. So the left leg comes up and back. Twisted three-legged dog. And then bringing it through, finding that low lunge on the second side. Moving into the half monkey flow from here. And I spend a little bit of time in half monkey before flowing forward and back. Here we go, flowing forward. Inhaling as I come forward and exhaling as I shift back. Last time coming forward. And then exhaling back in the downward facing dog. I'm going to lower the knees and take child's pose for a few breaths. I think I'll actually bend the arms here, bring my hands to prayer, and let the head fall between for a little bit more opening through the shoulders, the upper back, and the triceps. And from here, I'm going to find down dog again. I'm going to come into a three-legged dog. Oh, that feels nice. Let's stay here for a breath or two. Coming forward, stepping through. Finding warrior one. I always like the first warrior one that I do of my day. I like to ease into it. Sometimes my lower back does not love this pose. It just is just needs a few moments to let itself open up. And it's, my pelvis likes to naturally tilt backward. So it takes a few moments for my body to understand that that's not the best position for it. You find more length when the tail drops down and the sit bone drops down. All right, now for some movement. Inhaling up, exhaling, leg down, arms down. If you've ever taken a class with me, you are very familiar with this flow. Inhaling, coming to warrior one. Exhaling, straighten your leg, arms down. I'm going to come to warrior one and stay here. Exhaling, the hands behind, coming into humble warrior. This humble warrior is very square. I'm trying to keep my right hip behind the right knee so it's not swinging up. It's not swinging out to the side because that can happen. You want the hip to stay in lines. There's two different variations of this pose, and this one is very square. From here, I'm going to come into a standing split, so my fingertips are going to shoot forward. I'll bring my weight to my right foot and lift the back leg. So here I'm actively trying to drop the left hip down. This gives me a little bit more sensation, a little bit more stretch, and a little bit more strength. From here, lifting the head, stepping halfway back, smaller stance. And then inhale, I'm just coming to a nice flat back, flat spine. And then a fold forward for Parasvatanasana. And I invite you to find the subtleties here, the gentle weight shift. If you are on the back leg more than the front leg, maybe try shifting very gently forward. If your right hip is sticking out, maybe you bend the knees and you shift it back and see how that feels. Maybe the spine is curled. See what happens if you lengthen it. Sometimes that means you have to come a little bit higher, but how does that change the stretch for you? There's all these little tiny subtleties within each pose, which are, in my opinion, fun to explore and find to see what works for your body. I'm going to stay here for one more breath. I'm going to make my way back to plank. Let's stay for a few breaths. And I'll take a vinyasa from here. Lowering down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. From here, moving to the second side, left leg up and back. All right, I stayed here for a few breaths on the first side, didn't I? So I should do that again. Trying to keep the balance. And stepping through, finding warrior one. Oh, good morning, lower back on this side. It's amazing how, even though I did the first side, the second side can still have a similar sensation, even though the body's been in it, although the legs are opposite. So I always say this when I teach, and it is very true, that each side has its own personality. I'm letting myself settle in. I'm going through my flow. I'm going to stay here. Move into humble warrior. Hopefully not falling over this time. from here, I'm going to come into my standing split. Inhaling, lifting the head, stepping the foot halfway back, lifting the spine about halfway, finding the Parsvottanasana. And I'm doing this so that I can balance out my hips to make sure that they're not open to the side, because this is more of a triangle pose. I'm trying to keep it nice and square. And then folding forward from here. Finding those subtleties. This leg is not as happy with me as the other one. Alright, from here I'm going to find my way back to plank. Take a few breaths here so that my hamstring can re-assimilate to not being in that stretched position. I'll take my gentle vinyasa. Moving into child's pose or down dog if you're practicing with me. If you prefer down dog, go for it. Actually, while I'm here in child's pose, I'm going to take a little bit of a twist, threading my needle. So I'm going to take the right arm underneath, so my shoulder comes to the middle of the mat. Oh, that's just what I needed this morning. This opens up behind the shoulder blade, gives you a little twist. If you're looking for more intensity, you can take the left arm and bring it up and behind your head. Combine it behind your back, sorry, not behind your head. You can do behind your head too, but behind the back will give you a little bit more stability. This is plenty right now. And gently coming up out of that. Let's give that shoulder a little bit of release. And switching to the other side. Oh. So this side, however, needs a little bit more intensity. It's not doing it. What's going to do it? Oh, there we go. Back up through neutral. Giving that left shoulder. This side needs a little bit more stillness, I think. I'm also using my other hand and I'm giving a little bit of a massage to help release that. I felt that a little bit more in the lower portion of the latissimus dorsi. The lower lat. Alright, so now giving the shoulders a little roll. Roll. A tiny little twist here. Alright, so from here, finding downward facing dog again. You're gonna have to pardon my back on this next one. I'm gonna move into three-legged dog to start. And then finding warrior two. So the right leg is front. Coming into that nice, strong warrior. I'm going to take a nice dynamic flow here. So I'm going to turn both palms up, straighten the front leg and arms float up. And then I'm going to exhale and move back into warrior two. I'm going to do this a few times. On this next flow, I'm going to come up, keep my legs straight, and move into triangle. I'm going to stay here in triangle for a few breaths. Again, find those subtleties in the pose. The head placement, pulling the front ribs together so the abdominals are engaged. It's not a tucking of the pelvis, it's more of a front engagement, which will move the pelvis a little bit. I'm going to inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, back into warrior two. I'm going to take a reverse warrior from here, inhaling, flipping the palm. I'm going to bind the arm behind the back. I think I'm really into the binding this morning of that back arm. Coming up from here, I'm going to try and take a half moon balance. I have no idea what's going to happen. We'll see how balanced I actually am, and I'm going to release the back arm. Apologies if my head leaves the screen. Apparently that day of rest yesterday was really good because now I feel nice and active. Let's see if I can balance here. Cool. From here, I'm just going to bring myself back into a Tadasana. Oh, yes. Pedal through the feet a little bit. And we'll take the second part of a sun salutation. So inhaling, lifting halfway up. Exhaling and folding, stepping back to plank. I'm going to stay here in plank for a few breaths. I like to find the length here before I keep moving. And then exhaling down. Moving on to the other side, inhaling the left leg up and back, getting a nice twist. Stepping through, warrior two. Finding that nice dynamic flow, flipping the palms, inhaling up. And exhaling, settling back in. This next one, I'll move into triangle pose. Into that half moon balance. Say goodbye to my head. And disappear. So if you can't see it, the left fingertips are underneath the left shoulder. When I feel balanced, the right arm extends up, and this back leg, which I'm pretty sure you can see, has lots of energy in it. If you have dead weight, it knocks you off your balance. So imagine energy shooting out the top heel, the top fingertips, and you're rooting down through your standing foot and standing fingers. The core is active here, and it's okay if your ankle is wobbly. It's all part of the pose. It's part of finding it. From here, I'm going to come into my Tadasana. Oh, yeah. And I gently pedal through my feet a little bit. Inhale, lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, find your way to plank. Stay in plank for a few breaths. And then lowering down. Down dog or child's pose. From here, I'm just going to come up to a seated position. And I'll face you all because it's a little bit more fun to face you. And I take double pigeon from here. I have to adjust my pants a little bit. Yeah, so pardon me while I do so. Alright, so in double pigeon, the right ankle comes over the left, stacking the shin bones as they'll go. If you need to prop yourself, if you need to sit up on something, do that. If this hip is really high, then this hip is really high. As long as you feel stretched in that right outer glute, you're good. Some people feel this in the groin area as well. It's okay if you do, as long as it's not pain. Move into a twist from here. So adjusting the legs a little bit so they come into half Lord of the Fish. So now this bottom heel is against the hip, this foot is flat. Inhaling up, and exhaling and twisting. And then moving into cow face. Stacking the knees, one on top of the other. And I take the arms as well, so it's opposite arm on top as the leg. Let's see if I can connect the fingers today. Haha, success. Oh, feel that in the shoulders. Yum. So a little side note on this cow face. Why is it called cow face? So I took a trip to India. Well, I've taken 2 trips to India, but when I did my 300-hour training, I actually took a good look at the cows there. And their horns, one is up and one is down. Some people say, I'm going to release my arms here because that's way intense for me this morning. Some people say that these are the lips. And these are the horns, and then I guess this is the face. I don't know. But it was a little bit of a weird revelation for me when I saw the cows. I thought one horn was up and one horn was down. I was like, oh, that's where cow face comes from. Anyway. All right, so from here, I'm actually going to dance my way out of this. So you're gonna have to park my backside. It's just the way that I'm facing. So I'm gonna spiral around to the left. My hands are gonna come behind me. I'm gonna come up, peek underneath, keep moving to the left. I'm gonna tuck the right leg underneath, and then voila, the left is on top, and then come into double pigeon on the other side. It's a fun little way of moving from one side to the other. If that doesn't make any sense for you, you can just untangle your legs and retangle them the other way. Resettling into a double pigeon. So I see that somebody has waved to me, but because I'm nearsighted, hence the glasses, I have no idea who it is, so I'm gonna wave hello back. Hi. Thanks for joining me. All right, so from here, I'm going to take my half Lord of the Fish, pulling the right heel back to the hip, left foot comes flat. Inhaling the opposite arm up, and then exhaling and twisting to the other side, to the left. Coming back to center. Now I'm going to take cow face on the other side, stacking the knees as best I can. Opposite arm on top, finding the connection of fingers in the back. And then lifting the head and enjoying the shoulder opening. On this side, you see I'm moving my top leg. I'm actually starting to get a little bit of pins and needles in that foot. So I'm decreasing the outward rotation of the thigh because I have a feeling that's why that's happening. There is a possibility of going too far into a stretch. Release my arms here, and I did talk about that. I don't know what day it was, but the day that I did all the strengthening with the hamstrings, and then I was sore for 2 days afterwards. Strengthening is just as important as flexibility. If you're too flexible, then you start to go into different types of injuries that maybe you've never heard of before. The longer I teach yoga, the more of these interesting injuries, not saying that they're beneficial by any stretch, but I hear more and more about interesting injuries happening, like the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint, which is in the pelvis, opens up too much, and my gosh, that's your core. And if you open that too much, now this is extreme, of course. If you open that too much, then your pelvis is just not stable. Like, that's a little crazy that you can actually do that. So anyway, I'm only going into this to express that it's okay not to go to the depth of each pose every single day. If you feel the pins and needles, if it feels uncomfortable, ease out of it. Go to a modified version. There's no reason why you have to be so intense all the time. All right, so I'm going to ease out of that. I'm going to find my way into downward facing dog for a few breaths. Oh. I'm going to come back. And now stretching the inner thighs, finding bound ankle pose. I'm going to hold on to the ankles today instead of the arches of the feet. I'm still going to open the elbows to the side and ease my way into this pose. So nice, full, gentle breaths. And as my hips start to open, I'm adjusting my hands accordingly. I'm not actually engaging the hands today. I'm just letting the weight of my torso sort of assist the legs down. And then gently coming up, closing the legs, giving a little rock from side to side. Before I go into my Shavasana, I'm about ready to wrap it up. I'm going to do a little bit of pranayama. Breath and breathing seems to be an important thing to do these days, wouldn't you say? So I'm actually going to take my glasses off. And I think I'm safe. I see Zeus sitting out, chilling outside, so hopefully he won't attack me and or my glasses. I'm going to move into the alternate nostril breathing. If you have any congestion and you're joining me on this, just gently breathe in and out through the nose and follow the pattern in your mind's eye. So you don't have to physically do it if you have blockages in your sinuses at any point. So peace fingers to the third eye. You're using your right hand for this. I'm going to try to do about 6 rounds. So starting with a nice inhale between both nostrils. Blocking the right and exhaling out of the left. Inhaling through the left. Enjoy a slight pause at the top. Switch the fingers. Exhale out of the right. Enjoy a slight pause at the bottom of that breath. And inhale through the right. Slight pause at the top. Switching the fingers. Exhale left. That's 1 round. Inhaling left. Slight pause. Exhale right. Inhale right. Slight pause. Exhale left. Slight pause. Inhale left. Exhale right. Slight pause. Inhale right. Pause. Exhale left. For the remaining, I'm not going to talk, I'm just going to breathe. One more full round. And just sitting with a regular breath or an ujjayi breath if you practice that. Breathing through both nostrils. So from here, making your way into Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Give a nice stretch through the body. Hug the knees in toward your chest, give a little rock from side to side. And roll onto your right side, part of my back. Use the right arm as a pillow for your head. Gently bring yourself up. A nice seated position. Either hands pressed together by your heart or one hand on the heart and belly. Let your eyes stay closed. Just take a few breaths here. Maybe give a few moments of gratitude. Something you're thankful for today. Maybe it's the family that you have immediately with you, or the family that you can connect via the internet. Perhaps it's as simple as you got up today. Maybe you're thankful for your pets, if you have one, or a good friend that is like family. Whatever it is, be thankful. Namaste. So I hope you all feel pretty good today. Let me see who that was. It was Lori. Hi, Lori. Okay, so now that I'm closer, I can actually see and read. So wrapping up, I hope you all have a beautiful holiday weekend. If you are joining me here in Sri Lanka or somewhere in Asia where it is the New Year, Happy New Year. Celebrate it within your homes. Be well, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.